Hello friends! As I'm sure most of you have already guessed, today we are taking a look at Scrooge McDuck! Here is Scrooge out of the packaging, and the sculpt on this guy is pretty much perfect. There are no details they missed, I think, really. He is based on Scrooge from the original cartoon where he did wear blue, although I got him because I love the DuckTales NES game and thought that'd be cool to have him hang out with Mario and Cuphead and characters like that. Although in that NES game he did wear red, but this is based on the original cartoon where he does wear blue, so they got that accurate, and everything on the sculpt is pretty much accurate. There's no detail they missed. They even got his little glasses in there. They aren't removable, which is good because you don't want to lose these tiny little things. They're just sort of attached to the beak. And yeah, the only thing that's like really an error, I guess, is see these spats here? Well, they're like straps that cover your shoes in real life, but he's a duck, so he doesn't have shoes, but whatever. The straps on these should go all the way around the bottom of the foot, but I mean, the bottom of the feet just aren't sculpted because that's like a thing for him to, you know, stand up straight. So they didn't actually miss any details. They got everything in his design there that should be when we talk about the sculpt. If we move on to the paint, though, I mean, they got the color of his eyes right. All the colors are pretty much correct. The only thing that's really missing is a lot of times in the show he had this blue highlight on his black hat, but I mean, that'd probably look a little odd in an action figure form. And then the other thing is a little bit of slop, like the tongue there. It's not entirely pink, there's some yellow on it, and then the inside of his mouth probably should not be white, but I understand that that's just because he used a separate piece for the lower half of the beak. The rest of the paint, pretty clean, nothing to complain about really. The eyes are very clean, actually. No complaints, except for the inside of the mouth, really. Moving on to articulation, he's got a ball joint head, gets some good up and down range, even some side to side sort of, can go all the way around, of course. Hinge and swivel shoulders also go all the way around, and single hinged elbows. I don't think they quite get to 90, but this isn't exactly the most flexible character and character design. Big problem, though, is nothing at the wrist. That's disappointing. Nothing at the waist either, but I mean, well, I was going to say his design kind of limits it, but they totally could have put a cut where this belt separates his top half from his lower half. That would have been nice. And then the legs, they just swivel, but here's the problem. The swivels are at like this V-crotch angle, so when you're trying to stand him up, that doesn't really help to get his feet like this. You know, it's not like standard articulation, but I mean, look how skinny his legs are. Like, Funko definitely worked within the design limitations. The only thing they really should have added is, like, cuts at the wrists. Like, yeah, it would have been better to have some better form of articulation at the hips, but I don't think they could have really worked that in. I don't see how, anyways. But swivel wrists, they could have absolutely done that, and they probably should have. So, articulation's mostly good, really only missing two little things, and it's not that big a deal, honestly. Good job overall, Funko. So we saw a bit of Scrooge's packaging earlier. There's nothing too special about it. It says Funko up there in the corner, and that's a real rip, not some faux rip like NECA does on their products where it's like, oh, this is aged and stuff. On the top, we get some artwork from the show, and on the back, it's the same artwork, but we get to see a bit more of it. I guess this is from one of those episodes where they found some weird underground civilization. Like, weird stuff like that happened on DuckTales. Like, I don't remember the episode too well, but the rest of the packaging, pretty standard, not too much to it. I like the purple look. That's definitely reminds me of the show somehow. And it says Scrooge McDuck, collectible action figure. Yep, just rip it open. That's all there really is to it. And inside, doesn't look like there's any twist ties or anything. Just pop everything out. Yep, pretty simple packaging, but effective, Funko. Good job. Scrooge only really comes with two accessories. The first is this little money bag, which is awesome. There's not much to say about it. Paint on the little dollar symbol is clean. And it's awesome, of course, because Scrooge loves money and he's obsessed with it and stuff, and he can hold it just fine in that hand, so no complaints there. Second accessory is even more important. It is his cane, and it's pretty plain, not much to it. They painted the bottom silver, but it's so cool that they included this because, of course, he uses it in the game DuckTales all the time, like a pogo stick, and it snaps into his right hand pretty perfectly there, and he can hold it and even support himself with it a bit. Yep, no problems with the accessories. Awesome job, Funko. Scrooge stands just about 4 inches tall if we go to the top of his little hat there. Here he is next to another famous Funko video game character, Cuphead, and true classic gaming icon, Mario. So cool to have these three guys together, I think. And as I always do, here he is next to some 6-inch superhero figures, my Batman and Spider-Man. So a pretty simple figure, but also a pretty good figure overall from Funko. The sculpt is essentially flawless. He comes with 2 accessories when they totally could have gotten away with just giving us 1. The articulation, for the most part, is good. I mean, not having swivel wrists is really my only complaint. And the paint's very good, except for the inside of the mouth, but that doesn't bug me too much because you'll hardly see the inside of that. So if you want to pick up Scrooge McDuck, I do recommend Funko's figure here. Well, until next time, peace out, friends.